Hi everybody, this is Frances here from KCH Elementary School. I'm the occupational therapist that's there, and I just wanted to come to you today and give you some tips on cutting. So a lot of the kids that come to OT are working on cutting, especially kindergarten and first grade kids. So if you're doing some projects at home, I wanted to give you some tips that I usually share with my students. So I have a little poster that I have hung up in my room. So some of the tips that we talk about are using your thumb in the hole, your middle and your ring finger in the big hole, and your pointer finger on the outside. So your pointer finger is going to kind of help guide your scissors as you're cutting. So I always try to tell the kids to use their thumb up. So keep your thumb up and your scissors pointing forward. When you're cutting, you want to keep your scissors pretty stable, and then you're going to use your other hand to move the paper around. A lot of time this is hard for kids, and we start seeing this. We don't ever really want them to start cutting with the scissors towards them. I think it's important for them to learn correct positioning. So we're going to use the scissors to cut, and as we're cutting around, we're going to teach them how to move their helper hand, their supporting hand, as they turn paper around, to cut around curved shapes or angles, and that's going to be a big help for them. We also want to make sure we're doing nice, smooth cutting movements. So we don't want to do choppy movements. A lot of times when kids are starting to cut, they use a lot of choppy movements as they're cutting and turning at the same time. So we want to start seeing nice, fluent movements with their scissors, especially when you see them cutting around circles. Some of the ways that we teach the development of cutting are maybe with like some little pieces of paper. So we want to start with just snipping first, just for control. By first grade kindergarten, they really should probably be way beyond some of the pre-writing skill or pre-cutting skills. Sorry, I'm having a hard time talking today. So then we want to start increasing the ability to control their scissors. So cutting across lines. A lot of times I will use a highlighter. If I have a picture like this with a skinny line, I will go around it and I will darken up and widen the line that they have to cut on, because then they can be a little bit more successful with it. Okay. I might use a highlighter, or I might use a darker marker. But just making that line a little bit darker gives them a little more success when they're cutting on the line. Another good trick to practice is starting and stopping. So I have a little paper like this with lines on it, because sometimes it's hard for the kids to control their cutting. So we're going to use this to just practice snipping and stopping at the line. Okay? There you go. Those are a couple of the tricks that I use. One more that's really important is I know a lot of times there's questions of the right-handed students and left-handed students. Oftentimes a left-handed student will cut with their right hand. It's all how the brain switches dominance when you're doing activities like this. So it's perfectly fine if you have a left-handed student who likes to cut with their right. That's very typical. If you have a lefty who is cutting with their left hand, a little trick that I try to help tell them is right-handed kids will put their thumb in the thumb hole. Left-handed kids will put their thumb in the finger hole. So simply flipping over your scissors, most Fiskars are the type of scissors that the kids use in school. It'll just change the blades so that the blades are going the right direction for cutting. Another tip that I have for right-handed and left-handed students is the direction that they cut. So I'm going to put this up here a little bit closer. I don't know if it's reversed for you guys or not. But basically, I'll turn sideways so I can demonstrate. I'm right-handed, so I would start cutting and going counterclockwise. Okay? So when right-handed kids cut, they should always start cutting their shape going counterclockwise. When left-handed kids start cutting, when they cut out a shape, they should cut it going clockwise. That way they get to hold on to the shape with the non-dominant hand. I'm not a very good left-handed cutter here. And so they're able to still see the line and cut that direction. So if you take away anything from this video, right-handed kids cut counterclockwise, left-handed kids should cut clockwise. Okay? If you have any questions, just put them in the comments below. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. I hope you guys are having fun with lots of activities at home, and I will be back soon. Thank you.